What's up everyone? Today I'm down at Benson Fiat and Alfa Romeo checking out the 2017 Alfa Romeo Giulia. I just finished up doing a detailed walk around and review of this Ti model here. Now we're going to take this model out, we'll go over the performance of it, how it drives, and see what it's like to be out on the road. Alright, so about to take the Giulia out for a drive. It has push button start on the steering wheel, which is pretty cool. So foot on the brake, go ahead and start it up. Let me adjust my seat here. But right off the bat, I love these huge column mounted paddle shifters. I can't wait to try those out. But for right now, I'm just gonna put it into normal automatic mode. You can shift on the shifter as well. I would prefer the paddles, but we're going to keep it in automatic for now to see how well it'll shift by itself, but just to get used to everything in this car. Visibility in this sedan is very good. You have almost a 360-degree view. Even looking over your right shoulder, that pillar back there doesn't get too much in your way. You're easily able to see on both sides of it. And then looking over your left shoulder, you can glance out of the rear glass, which is helpful so you can see anybody who would be in a blind spot there. This car also has blind spot monitoring, so that will help if you have something in your blind spot, but just taking a quick look, not too many blind spots in this car. So some specs of this vehicle, there are two different engine options available for the US. I'm driving the Ti, so that's the all-new 2-liter turboed 4-cylinder, produces 280 horsepower and 305 pound-feet of torque. So that's pretty good for a 4-cylinder. We'll test that out in a little bit in this video to see how quick it is. You can also get the Quadrifoglio, which has the 2.9-liter twin-turbo V6 pumping out 505 horsepower and 443 pound-feet of torque. The Quadrifoglio is only available in rear-wheel drive. The model we're in right now is rear-wheel drive, but the Ti also offers an all-wheel drive option. Okay, so we're at a stoplight right now. I'm gonna push it over into manual mode. And I'm not gonna punch it too much. Wow. That was only to 4,000 RPM. This is a new vehicle, so I'm not going to floor it, but that really picked up. I wasn't expecting that. The power was very linear. This car weighs about 3,500 pounds, depending on the drivetrain and engine you go with, but wow, that turbo kicks in so quickly, wow. Not too much exhaust noise though from the inside of the cab, so it's very well insulated. I don't hear much road noise, but even on a downshift, I didn't hear the exhaust too much. And getting to another stop sign here, we'll put it back into first gear. Wow. I mean, 0 to 60 in this car is about 5 seconds. I know I'm not hitting anywhere near that right now, but that was pretty quick for like quarter throttle. I'm very impressed with how linear the power is in this car. These paddle shifters are very responsive. So taking this car out on a back road and having some fun with it, you're definitely going to have a lot of control in the gear that you want to be in. Overall, as a daily driver, I'm very comfortable in this seat. This car does have the optional sports package interior, so it has the upgraded black leather seats with the white stitching. Very supportive. The bolsters are very aggressive for a sedan. I like not too much down below on your thighs, but enough behind your back here to definitely hold you in the seat. Plenty visibility again, as I mentioned earlier. And the seating position is nice. I feel a little bit high in this car, but that gives you a great view out of the front. You can see hood lines in the car, so you can definitely tell where the right side of the vehicle is. This vehicle also has 3 different driving modes, and the acronym they use for that is DNA. So you have dynamic mode. If I go ahead and pop it into dynamic mode, below the speedometer and the center gauge, it will turn red. And dynamic mode sharpens your throttle response. It gives you better braking and better steering as well. So let's go ahead. I wasn't in dynamic mode the first time. There's some jolts in between the shifting there. Let's do that again. Okay, so now in dynamic mode. Okay, so that opens up the exhaust a little bit. I could hear that a little bit more. Woo! Downshifts sound really good in this. So in dynamic mode again, we're gonna do a little pull again. Again, not going too crazy, but let me go back down to first gear here. You can definitely feel the shifts a lot more than in natural mode or advanced efficiency, and I'll go over those two modes in a second. Ooh, yeah. Very instant. As soon as I tap on that paddle shifter, you can see that RPM just switch to the next gear. Very responsive. So moving into a different mode, I'll go back to natural. It turns blue on the dash. And what natural is just your most comfort setting. So if you want a softer ride, you're just cruising, you can put it into natural mode. And then going to advanced efficiency turns green on the dash. And advanced efficiency works with cylinder deactivation. So while you come to a complete stop, if you're stuck in rush hour traffic, it will shut off cylinders to help conserve fuel, which is always good. You'll get better fuel consumption. So if you're not out on a back mountain road and you're just stuck in work traffic, you can put it in there, help save on your MPG. You can, however, turn that on and off, and that's located on the left side. So if you don't want the car to do that at all, you can shut it off. If you feel like you want to save some gas, you can push on that button. Some other features in this vehicle other than the upgraded sports seats, you have an 8.8-inch display system. It also has navigation. You use the rotary dials down below to control those. So you have your volume and your radio control. The large dial in the center, how you basically control everything, so you can go through, turning off your blind spot monitoring, going through your Bluetooth, your radio, navigation. All of that can be controlled by that button. You have a menu button to take you back to your home screen. And then you do have the rotary dial for the different driving modes located next to that. Leather wrapped steering wheel, again with the huge aluminum paddle shifters. Very responsive. I do like having them column mounted instead of up behind the steering wheel. That allows you a lot better shifting response if you're in a turn or anything like that. It has a very premium feel to it. Everything is laid out the way you would want it. All of your dual climate control buttons are easily accessible. Nothing's too complicated. It's not full of buttons. Everything that I would want. I don't like having an overload of buttons with half of them you're not even going to touch all the time. So it's nice to have a very well laid out center dash with the nice navigation screen as well. Steering wheel feels very comfortable. I really like having the start stop button located down here. Alfa does work with Ferrari on a lot of its paint schemes and different layouts, so it's nice to have that extra touch to this sedan. Surprisingly, the turn signal and the windshield wiper stalk are not inaccessible, being right behind these large paddle shifters. I can easily tap on both of them and they're not out of the way at all. So initially I thought they would be. They're pretty much flush with the paddle shifters, so that gives you enough access to get to them and not have to fight around the paddle shifter, which is always convenient. It's easily accessible. Overall, this is a very excellent sedan, in my opinion. You have tons of different options that you can do to get the spec you like, 2 different engine options as well. Starting price is just under $40,000, and if you go up to the Quadrifoglio, you're looking closer to the mid $70,000 range. So for this price point of this car, competing with other sedans in a much higher price point or in the same, I think it definitely has the competitiveness with the interior quality. The layout of all the buttons is very nice again, and the power to it as well. This 2 liters pushing 280 horsepower again. That's definitely a good amount. I couldn't imagine driving the Quadrifoglio with 505. That would be an absolute monster to drive. But even with this 2 liter, plenty of fuel efficiency and plenty of power. I hope you all enjoyed that video again. Definitely check out the full walk around and review video in the description below. Like our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram. I will see you all next video.